In our last session, I read parts of a letter from a woman, a victim, who illustrated the horrors of the world of the victim. She demonstrated how victimhood is always about anger, and how victims want everyone to be as miserable as they are, and how victims are never grateful for what they have, only demanding for more. Keep in mind, as I share this letter with you, that Teresa is not exceptional. She actually represents all of us quite well, really. She continued, "I'm so lonely here. Bob never understands me." Actually, I've been present when she has spoken to Bob, and he's pretty good at listening to her. Not perfect, certainly, neither am I. But when Teresa said she was lonely and misunderstood, what she was really saying was that Bob didn't give her everything she wanted. The only way you can indicate understanding or love to a victim is to give him or her everything he or she demands. I've seen this thousands of times. The instant you withhold anything at all from a victim, you are unkind, cruel, mean, and you don't understand them. You cannot please a victim. Then she went on to describe a conversation they'd had that very day. She said that she was furious at him for something, and while she was yelling at him, quote, he just sat there and listened. He didn't get angry or anything. That really bothers me. That what I'm saying doesn't even seem to bother him. End quote. What a world. If she's miserable, he has to be miserable too. If he gets angry, she hates that. If he doesn't get angry, she hates that too. So how can he do anything right? And that's the entire point with victims. You can't. With victims, everything is always wrong. Always. You're either doing things too much or too little. There is no just right. I hasten to add that victims are not making this hellish existence up. They're in real pain. And they blame everyone around them for it as the best explanation they can come up with. In some ways, it's like Greek and Roman mythology. Those ancient people were baffled by the events in their lives, by the weather, by the sinking of ships, by the genesis of wars, and so on, and they used the gods as explanations for those events. Victims do something like that. They're in pain, and they don't understand the cause. So they look around for the cause. It couldn't be them. That would require change, heaven forbid, on their part. So they blame other people. And that's pretty easy, because people make mistakes constantly. So victims always have something to point to as a reason for their pain. At one point, she said, "I just don't know what to do." Well, that's not true at all. I've told her on many occasions what she could do to change her life. But what she means is that she doesn't know what to do to get everyone else to change to make her happy. That is the goal of most of us, actually, and it keeps not working. It never does. Then, when people don't change and make us happy, how do we feel? Even more victimized. Victimhood is so self-perpetuating. At the end of her letter, she even said, maybe I should just leave him. Maybe so, but then who would she blame? If she left Bob, she'd keep blaming him for her unhappiness. Eventually, she might even find another man, and then she'd blame him. But the problem is that no matter where she went, there she'd be, miserable and alone and blaming. The world of the victim is death. The moment we blame, the moment we get angry, we're acting like victims. And we have to recognize it early and avoid this living death that will rob us of our happiness every time. It's always about real love. Every time. It's never about blaming other people. It's not their job to save us. It's our job to tell the truth about our own failings and learn to love other people. That is a great way to live. I recommend it.